Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming the Among Us book tag and I was tagged by the original creator of the tag, who is my friend Jade from Paperback to Hardback. She created this amazing tag based on the game Among Us, which I'm sure you've all played, and I actually adore this tag. The questions are so awesome. It's taken me a while to get to this, but I will leave the original down below and I do recommend you watch it. It is so good. We do have 10 questions here, all somewhat based around the game. And I have a big stack of books here to talk to you about today. The first question is Crewmate, a book you want all of your friends to read. Now for me, this is Circe by Madeline Miller. I adore this book. It is not my usual thing because it is character focused, flowery writing, not very plot driven. I honestly cannot tell you how much emotion this book evoked. It just was beautifully written, beautifully told, a beautiful story, all revolving around Circe and after her banishment to her own island where only she must live alone. Now, her island is beautiful, her story and the sadness in this book took me on a roller coaster, I tell you. Now, I have not found a book that I love much more than this. Crescent City, but you know, not many books have come better than this year, and I'm so glad I read this because this is a unique experience that I really want all my friends to have, so please read it if you have not already. The second question is Imposter, a book that has a cover that is not like the story inside. Now, I really struggled with this question. It was the hardest question to answer, but I did go for When Life Gives You Mangoes by Karine Getton. Now, the reason I've gone for this, it is a middle grade. The cover looks beautiful, you know? She's in a swimming, she's got some mangoes. I don't know, that seems like a really happy-go-lucky story to me. I wouldn't think twice about anything in this. That's what it would have you believe. This book is incredible. It follows Clara, and she lives in this beautiful small village, and she has this lovely life, but she has something creepy where she cannot remember the summer previous. She cannot remember it at all, and we follow in this book her friendships and her discoverings of what happened the summer prior. This took a turn. This is a creepy middle grade, so don't let this fool you. I was creeped out by this, I'm not gonna lie. Now, I don't think that was the intention, but it happened nonetheless. This was a fun read. I read it very quickly because it is a middle grade and it is super, super short. And I had to get myself a final copy because it was amazing. So I really hope that some of you read this, but don't be fooled by the cover. It is nothing like that. The third question is Red Sus, a book with a majoritively red cover, and for this I went for The Vanishing Stare by Maureen Johnson. This is the second in the Truly Devious series. The Truly Devious series is like a murder mystery in a school. I've only read the first one, I have not read this one yet, although it is on my TBR for this month or next month. And let me tell you, it is worth the read. It is cozy mystery vibes. I'm assuming this one will be no different, but as you can see, it is a majoritively red cover, and I love this cover a lot. Number 4 is Tasks, a book that felt a bit like a chore to finish. And for this I went for Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Power. Now, after reading Wilder Girls, I was quite confident that Rory Power was going to be my next favourite author because she has a talent with writing. She really does. The things she writes, or the book that she wrote once, was so good that I thought, okay, if that's her writing style, I'm going to love anything she writes. And then she released this book. And you follow, I can't even remember if I'm honest, what it was about. No, I have no memory. All I know is that I do not like it. I did not like the ending. I was a little bit confused. I don't think many things were explained in here, which I'm sure you all know that Wilder Girls has an open-ended ending and a lot of people hate it for that. That is not the case with this. I just didn't quite understand how it got to where it got to, and I wasn't really following the journey that they were clearly following in this book. So I don't know if it's my own confusion in the way or if this book caused me to be confused. But either way, despite the most beautiful cover on the planet, the read wasn't that fun. Number 5 is Discussion Time, a book that you had to discuss immediately after finishing. And for this, I went for my favourite book of the year, Sarah J. Maas, Crescent City, and House of Earth and Blood. I think, yeah, that's the one. I just call it Crescent City. This is my favourite book of the year. Now, I did not expect it to be, as I'd never read a Sarah J. Maas book before this, and I still have not. So when I was reading this, I was not expecting that much from it. I knew she was a good writer. I was expecting to like it. I was not expecting it to be my new favourite book of the year, or ever. My new favourite book, hands down. This is so good, and I did have to discuss it immediately. I sent voice notes to the buddy read group like, oh my god, what is happening? I was the last to finish. I could not put this down. I was listening to it in the car, crying where I shouldn't have been crying because, you know, you gotta drive. This was a journey, and I even made a whole review on it. I will link it above if I remember, because I had to just get my feelings out there in the open with everybody, because this was just so thought-provoking. It follows Bryce Quinlan, and her best friend Danica is murdered, and she goes on this journey to discover who the murderer is, and on the way she may find love. And I'm just in love with every character. I would sell my soul for Bryce Quinlan to have a chocolate bar. I would let her stamp on me. I would anything for Bryce Quinlan. This book is incredible. The writing is incredible. Everything is incredible. Brooke, this is not another review. You need to calm down. The next book is Ejected, a book that you unhauled straight away, and you're going to be confused because I do have the book, but that is voxed by Christina Dalcher, which a lot of you probably know was the worst book I read this year. And you probably think, well, you didn't unhaul it straight away. Like, I did. It's just that we're still in lockdown, okay? We're locked on it today, but none of the shops are open still, and so I had nowhere to take it, to get rid of it. I want to burn it, but, you know, maybe not. So I still have it, but it's been hidden away in the unhaul pile because I do not want to see this ever again. This was absolutely the worst book on the planet, mainly because it was completely falsely advertised. I've ranted about this enough in wrap-ups. You can go see my thoughts on it, but it was falsely advertised, it was trash, not amused, nah. Number 7 is Sabotage, a book that destroyed you emotionally, and I think this one will be very obvious as to why. But I've gone with My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. Now, this does follow a girl who is groomed and raped by her English teacher. It's a heart-wrenching story because she's completely taken over by this man and taken advantage of by this man, and my heart broke listening to the story. I felt for this girl so hard, and it was a horrible read while also being an incredible read. I did give it a 5 stars, so I really enjoyed it, but it was difficult to read and I did not feel good while reading it, so it definitely destroyed me emotionally, that one. Question number 8 is 12 colours. Pick a book with at least 3 of the skin colours. Now, I've kind of cheated here because I've gone for an ARC, which does not have the original cover on it, but I went for this one, which is Skyward Inn by Aliyah Whiteley. That was hard. And obviously this is a very multicoloured ARC. Look how many colours are on this. So I was like, well, I'm sure there's plenty of colours, and definitely at least 3 on here of the skin colours. So I have gone with this one. If you're interested, this is a sci-fi. It comes out in March 2021, so maybe you should go and check out the synopsis and see if this is something you're worth picking up or when it releases. But it definitely fitted the prompt, so I went with it. Number 9 is Defeat, a book you DNF'd, and for me that was a Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I actually DNF'd this just last month. It was a real shame for me. I just found that this book was a little too slow, a little underwhelming. There were some scenes that had me gripped and I was like, oh my god, that is ugh, because it was a horror. But overall, the time between those scenes was just too long, and I had completely lost any interest by the time we got to them because it'd been so long in between. I DNF'd just shortly after the time jump in this because there was a 3-year time jump, and I'm not here for time jumps, especially at that point in the book. That was not an okay thing to do. So unfortunately, this book was not for me, and it did defeat me just 100 and something pages from the end. So I was so close, but so close yet so far. And finally is Victory, a 5-star read, to which I've shown you a few on this list. But the one I decided to go with is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now once again, this is very hyped on BookTube, so I'm sure it doesn't need me helping it along. But this does follow Evelyn Hugo, who is a actress in Hollywood, and she's incredible, and she's decided to let a reporter talk about her life for once and all the true honesty about it. So this was an incredible read, thoroughly enjoyable. It is worth the hype, so don't be put off just because you think, oh, it's overhyped, it's not going to be that good. It's that good. It is that good. Taylor Jenkins Reid has a talent, and I am here for anything she decides to write. So that is all 10 questions of the Among Us tag. I hope maybe you got some recommendations from this tag at least. There was a lot of books mentioned, and I hope you go and check out the original down below and support Jade as well for making this amazing tag. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know if I'm going to tag anyone, so instead, if you are interested in doing this, please do it. You can just say I tagged you, because I never know who's done it or who's not interested. I don't know. I shall see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.